Hey everyone, it's Tasha Scott here. For everyone that this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. I am the owner of Maximized Growth, L.L.C, which is a training and development company located in Montgomery, Alabama. And we specialize in leadership development, strategic communication, and team unity. If you are coming back again because you have loved our videos, welcome back. So, I started a new video series around a book by my mentor, one of my mentors, Dr. John Maxwell. And I shared yesterday, y'all, that I have gotten a lot of use out of this book. As you can see, it's all tattered and everything, and all the pages are pretty much highlighted and written in. But I wanted to take a moment on here to really give some value added content for leaders, for their teams, or for anyone who desires to grow from the inside out. So, my last video, I went into law number 1, which was the law of intentionality. And today we're going to dig deep into law number 2. And this is all about the law of awareness. But before we dive in, like I always do, I want to ask that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, share this video with those that you know could benefit from it, and like this video. This is going to really help me to really get the word out, get this message out so that we can all grow on purpose. So, yesterday, like I said, we talked about the law of intentionality, and today it's all about the law of awareness. And let me ask you a question. Do you actually have a sense of direction? This book is called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. So, when it comes to your growth, and we established yesterday, we can have plans about everything else, but I'm specifically talking to you about your growth. Do you have a sense of direction? Because in order to grow, you must know yourself. And here's some things that you really have to know. You have to know your strengths. You have to know your weaknesses. You have to know your interests, your opportunities. You know what else you have to know? You have to know your past and you have to know your present. And all of these are ingredients so that you can set the course for where you want to go. And I am a firm believer that we all have options. We are not stuck. Well, let me say this. The only reasons why we feel stuck is because we don't feel like we have options. And hopefully today, as you're watching this video, you can understand what some of your options are so that you can become more aware of where you've been, where you are, so that you can know where you're going. And to reach your potential, that's the thing. You must know where you want to go and where you currently are. And as I share this video, I am aware that there's 3 categories of people that I'm speaking to today. The first person is the people who don't know what they would like to do. And these people feel confused. Anybody out here feeling confused lately? Because they lack a strong sense of purpose or a sense of direction. And if they are growing, they're really not focused about it. It's like things are happening here and there, but there's not a sense of purpose or focus like they desire. And the reality with this group of people who don't know what they would like to do is they can't reach their potential because they have no idea what to shoot for. The second group of people I want to talk about today are the people who feel frustrated. These are the people who know what they would like to do, but they don't do it. There's a gap between where they are and where they want to be. And sometimes, this is not every case, but sometimes they're not willing to pay the price to learn, to grow, to move closer to where they want to be. And other times, fear is the thing that prevents them. And one of the things we talked about the last video was there's many forms of fear. Fear can come in the form of failure, rejection, unknown, success. All of those are fears. But sometimes this person, what the fear that prevents them is they're afraid that they will neglect other responsibilities. So they hold on tight to what they're currently doing. And that's where the frustration is because they're holding on and they're afraid to let go. And so what really happens is they miss potential. And potential can come in the form of opportunities or next level success, whatever it looks like. The third person that I'm speaking to today, this person is a fulfilled person. That's what they feel because they know what they would like to do and they're doing it. This person possesses a strong sense of passion. They are focused on their purpose. They grow in areas that help them move closer to their purpose, and they're doing what they were created to do. They feel like they're literally walking in their calling. They understand that there's more room for growth, but that's why they're fulfilled, because they have literally not let fear stop them, and they have learned how to possess their passion and turn it into action. So, again, there's three people I said I'm talking to: the confused, the frustrated, and the fulfilled. Which one are you? Will you do me a favor? Because, this is our second video in and we're getting to know each other. Will you let me know in the chat? Which one are you in the comments? Are you confused? Are you frustrated? Or are you fulfilled? For me, I feel like I can relate to every single one of these people, because there might be some areas where, yeah, there's confusion, and I'll be honest, there's some areas of my life that I'm frustrated, but then there's other areas that I am completely fulfilled. So it may not be across the board. You may have to look at your life and really decide, where are you right now? Because we're talking about the law of awareness. And when you don't know yourself as well as you could, you know what suffers? Your growth. That's what suffers. And the best way to start paying attention to your passions is to really, you know, figure out your passions and figure out your purposes. And I'm going to give you a list of 10 things for you to consider. The first four are going to relate to what, and the last six, they're going to relate to your how. So do me a favor, grab you a notebook. In fact, make this your notebook as we're going through this video series. Make this your notebook around the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And if you haven't gone to go get the book, check it out. You can go to Amazon and get the physical book. You can get the Audible book. You can get the Kindle book. But at the end of the day, let's do this together. So I want you to grab your notebook, and I'm going to give you some questions. And some of y'all are probably going to have to go back and rewatch this and literally pause and answer the question, but be honest. So, are y'all ready for this? The first question, and all of this is how to find your passion and your purpose. And I'm specifically speaking to the confused and the frustrated. If you're the fulfilled person, congratulations. The fact that you're here just means that you feel like there's still more learning and growth in you. And I love it. I love it. But to my confused and to my frustrated, number one, do you like what you're doing right now? Think about your career. You could even have a business and not like what you're doing in business. Do you like what you're doing? Yes or no? And why or why not? Now, some of y'all, y'all can just pause the whole video right here and just say, you know what? I need to go do some soul searching. Do I really like it? Why do I like it? And if I don't, why not? There's nothing like being honest with yourself. We can fool most of the people some of the time, but when you are awakened to yourself, that's the power of the law of awareness. You can never unknow what you know. You can never unsee what you see. So, number one, do you like what you're doing right now? Number two, what would you like to do using your gifts, your talents, and your abilities? Now, when you answer this question, I don't want you to think about what you're doing currently. I want you to allow your imagination to go wild for a minute. What would you actually be doing? And have you even taken inventory? Because remember, I said to grow, you must know yourself. And we talked about you got to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your interests, your opportunities, all of that. But have you actually taken inventory of those things to even know if you're actually using them? That's a great place to start right there. So some of y'all may need to pause the video again and just literally just write out all of the answers to all of those questions. What am I good at? What am I not good at? What are my opportunities? And once you see that list, then you can properly answer this question: what would I like to be doing? Number three, can you do what you would like to do? In other words, there's a big difference between having a dream that propels you to achieve and pulling an idea out of thin air that has no connection with who you are and what you can do. If you were to ask me, Tasha, hey, can you come join the Montgomery Symphony and play whatever the instruments are, chances are I'm not able to do that. I don't have the skill. I don't have the desire. I don't have the passion. I don't have the talent. No, I can't do that. And so when you think about the things that you said, what you would like to do, can you actually do it? Or are you setting yourself up for the impossible? That's something for you to consider. And here's some questions. I know I'm giving you a lot, so that's why I said you may have to go back and watch this again. But questions to identify if what you want is even possible. These are from a gentleman named Warren Bennis. He says, "Do you know the difference between what you want and what you're good at? Do you know what drives you and what gives you satisfaction? Do you know what your values and your priorities are? And if you're working in an organization, do you know what that organization's values and priorities are?" These three questions are really helping you to identify, can you actually do what you would like to do? And that's a real question that we have to ask ourselves, because sometimes we can say that we want to do something, but there's no connection. There's no connection to our gifts, our talents, our abilities. There's no connection to our desires. So can you? Number 4, this is we're talking about how to find your passion and purpose. Number 4, do you know why you want to do what you would like to do? There's a book out here called, I think it's by Simon Sinek. It's Why. And I can't put my, it's The Power of Why. There's a book out here called The Power of Why. And why is a really powerful question to ask. Why do you want to do what you're doing? Doing something for the right reasons keeps your life less cluttered and your path clearer. Carl Jung says your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, and who looks inside awakens. The answer is in you. So, why do you want to do what you're doing? Think about this, and don't just throw out an answer. You may have to sit on this why question for a while now, because at the end of the day, if you don't know your why, you don't know your way. I'm going to repeat that. If you don't know your why, then you don't know your way. And we're talking about the law of awareness. And again, sometimes people feel stuck because they don't know what the options are. They don't know that they have options. But when you can dig deeper and literally take these questions seriously, guess what? You will find your way. Number 5, do you know what to do so you can do what you want to do? There's 4 points underneath here. Awareness, the first step toward change. We're talking about the law of awareness. Action, nearly all success is the fruit of initiative. We can't just sit back and want it. We have to take action. Accountability. I'm probably going to say that word in every one of these videos, because you have to make your goals public to the right support team. I'm not saying you got to make it public to everybody. You certainly don't have to blast it on social media. But what I do want you to do is think about who is your support team that can hold you accountable. And then attraction. If you're committed, this is what I love. If you're committed, you attract others who are committed. If you're growing, you attract others who are growing. So awareness, action, accountability, and attraction. That's what's going to help you to know what to do so that you can do what you want to do. Number 6, do you know people who do what you would like to do? I know everybody wants to be an original. Everybody wants to be the first at something. And so you may not know someone who's doing exactly that thing that you're doing, but there might be some people who can inspire you by what they're doing now. And I'm not saying we got to go become a carbon copy of them, but there are clues that there's something that they have tapped into that can help you tap into your thing. So do you know, find people who are ahead of you. Find people whose advice will help you. I remember when I had my court reporting business, and I found a woman who had a transcription business. Different business, different service, but similar in some capacity. And she became my mentor. That was my introduction into mentoring and coaching. And for a whole year, she literally allowed me to hop on the phone with her. She was in a total different state. She allowed me to hop on the phone with her every week for a year, y'all, and ask her questions. She gave me homework assignments. She held me accountable. So I guess you could say that was coaching and mentoring, but find people who are ahead of you. And some of these people, it may be books that you're reading by them. Some of them you actually have access to, but whoever those people are, learn from them, lean into it. So, number 7, should you do what you'd like to do with them? Sometimes we have to, again, what I just said, find someone who can help us. And then we have to qualify if they actually can help us. And I'm not saying that we have to have people that we may find a coach and we don't have to just drain them dry and they have to be everything to us. We might have certain people that they're experts in this area. You may have another person, they're an expert in that area. But here's what you have to do. Here's your responsibility is possess a teachable spirit. Always be prepared for the time that you get with them. Set the agenda by asking great questions and expect for them to ask you questions as well. Demonstrate how you've learned your time together. The best way to honor a mentor or a coach is to go do what they are helping you or inspiring you to do, and then come back and report back to them your progress, or report back to them, this didn't work. How can we talk through this more? Be accountable for what you've learned. Everything that I just said prior to this, that's how you stay accountable. So, number 8, and this is about how to find your passion and your purpose. Ask yourself, will you pay the price to do what you want to do? Sometimes people are stuck or stagnant because they're not willing to pay the price. And the price is not always financial, though it could be. Sometimes that price is time. And I know there's some people that, you're in a state where you feel like, I don't have time. You make time for what's important to you. So, are you willing to pay the price to make time for what's important to you? Are you willing to pay the price and extend it? When I say extend resources, pay for it. Sometimes you might have to pay for somebody to help you. Sometimes you may have to go out and buy the book or buy the course or buy a ticket to that conference or that event where you're going to learn and grow. Are you willing to pay the price? And here's another price: sacrifice. Ouch. Now, I'm always going to say this, y'all. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me, right? So every one of us have areas of our lives that we have to sacrifice, and some are easier than others. But are we willing to pay the price to be or do what we want to do? Number 9, when can you start doing what you'd like to do? We have to focus on the areas where we can grow the most. And are you ready for this? We have to learn how to start before we're ready. Everything is not always going to be perfect. Everything is not always going to be lined up. Sometimes you may not even have the whole picture in front of you. I think it was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that said, sometimes we just need faith to take the next step on the journey. And I'm probably butchering that, but we just need to know what's the next step in front of us. Because sometimes, and this is just me saying this, sometimes the other steps won't be revealed, or the light won't be revealed on the other steps until we take the most obvious step in front of us. So, when can you start? And here's the thing: starting does not have to be this big production. Starting could be something as simple as you taking the questions out of this video and taking your notebook and answering them from an honest place. Some of y'all, that's your start right there. Because when you do that, guess what? You're going to have awareness of who you are, where you've been, and where you're going, so that you can come up with a strategy for where you want to be and what you want to do. Nobody ever got ready by waiting. You only get ready by starting. And then number 10, what will it be like when you get to do what you'd like to do? Have you even envisioned it? Do you have a picture? Some of y'all use vision boards. Some of you all are more word people where you like words, words inspire you. But do you have a vision for where you want to be? And what does that look like? What does that look like? When you do what you want to do, here's what you have to know. It will be more difficult than you've ever imagined, but nothing else compares to doing what you were created to do. So you have to see yourself there. You have to see yourself doing it. So, what I just read to you were 10 questions for you to ask yourself on how to find your passion and your purpose. Real quick, I'm going to recap. Do you like what you're doing now? Why or why not? What would you like to do using your gifts, talents, and abilities? Can you do what you would like to do? Do you know why you want to do what you would like to do? Do you know what to do so you can do what you want to do? Do you know people who do what you could who do what you would like to do? Should you do what you'd like to do with them? Will you pay the price to do what you want to do? When can you start doing what you'd like to do? And what will it be like when you get to do what you'd like to do? Yesterday's video, or my last video, whenever you watch this, basically gave you an action item to put yourself on your calendar. I'm going to give you an action item today and take it a step further. Put yourself on your calendar so that you can answer these questions. My name is Tasha Scott, and I am excited about being on a journey for growth from the inside out. I am the owner of Maximize Growth L.L.C, which, like I mentioned, we're a training and development company. And my passion, my mission is to equip leaders, to equip teams, to equip individuals to become self aware, to learn how to communicate strategically, and how to be unified as teams. In this video series, we're going through the 15 invaluable laws of growth. If you were if you were inspired by this content today, again, like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing a video for each law as a book review to help us on the journey for growth. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.